If you are still building your AI agent in this format, then you should just stop. Intelligent AI agent is there hiding under the hood in n8n, but you never realize. So what is it is and how this is different from the current workflow? Let's understand that. Earlier videos I've already recorded said that this is the agent we have been building. Just found a very super easy yet very intelligent way of deploying such kind of AI agents. Well, first, let's understand the limitations of these kind of agents is that, for example, if you talk about the chat model, you can only have one chat model. If you want to integrate multiple chat models, for example, you have built an AI agent which can actually do copywriting for you, which can actually do the research for you. If you talk about coding, the best LLM for coding is Claude. The best LLM for everyday is OpenAI. The best LLM for research is Perplexity. We know by this right now. Here, when we are building this AI agent, we only have access to one LLM, which is a limitation for us. And that way, this particular AI agent is good for the demonstration purpose. But in the real life use cases, this makes no sense because it is not that efficient. And when we talk about simple memory is something which is an inbuilt feature of n8n, but if you want to deploy this memory in real life, you don't have an option of adding another memory over here. Simple memory, when we are using in the real life, you cannot deploy this there. So in that case, all you have to do is just delete maybe memory. You can see this Postgres memories. I have been a regular user of Postgres chat memory, so I would suggest MongoDB has been doing splendid work. You can use that as well. These are the other memories which you should be using when you are actually deploying a project for the real life use case, but it is only for the testing purpose. Simple memory is good to go. For real life, these are the memories we should be going ahead for. This is how this particular limitation is there in this kind of workflow which we are just seeing. And the tools limitation are not there. Every time you have to connect a tool, you have to click on this, you have to keep on connecting multiple kind of tools over here. And every time you build an agent, for example, if you build this agent here, and if you are building this agent another time, you have to again go on connecting all the tools back and forth. That's not what we want to be doing again, because once connected, we would like to amplify over time. That's how I discovered this particular thing, and this is called Langraph, which is an agentic workflow. Here's the node which I'm talking about, AI agentic workflow code. If you click on this langchain, they have multiple more actions like basic LLM chain, questions and answers chain, summarization chain. So how this is different from this AI agent node? Let's click on this and I'll understand it better way. Here, if you come over here, you have got multiple things. What you can do is if I show you right now, you will see that this is just a basic block. You might find this good for nothing, but let me clarify this, how we can make this particular node efficient. Once you click over here, you get multiple options, which is code, inputs and outputs. Here, you can actually decide what all inputs you require. So for example, if you want 5 different kind of tools and 5 different kind of LLMs, you can actually select it from here and you can actually add in those things over here. And not just that, if you want output in 2 or 3 or maybe 100 ways, you can also do that over here. So that's the limitation. Here you don't get to decide the inputs and the output, but here you get to decide the inputs and the output. Let me show you a quick demo that how you can do that. If you click over here and this button, and here you can select this input as the main one. When we are selecting input as main, that means this particular node will be 1. If you want one chain to be now, you can connect this with this particular thing, and now this is one main node for you. I'll be deleting it for now. I have to demonstrate further multiple things. So now that's the one input we have. What you want to have multiple more inputs, you click on add inputs and you can select the functions from here. So what kind that let's talk about the language models you want to have. If you want to have multiple language models, you can do that. You select language model, and if I click back over here, you can see we have got option of connect Anthropic, connect OpenAI, you can connect maybe Grok. And if you talk about this particular agent node, you only have the option of connecting one. You don't have the option of connecting another node. You can see you have got multiple nodes, and I can still keep on adding a lot of nodes back and forth over here. Maybe Olama, because it is giving you more flexibility on designing your workflows. So about the language models, if you want to have more inputs, click on inputs, and if you want to have like memory, you can select that. And if I click back, you can see there's a memory node now here. You can again select memory as simple memory. You can also choose to have multiple memory here, which we don't get to have over here. If I'm using simple memory over here, I don't get the flexibility to use multiple more memories. You can select, as I mentioned, you can use Postgre memory. There's it is giving you more flexibility than this particular thing. If I come back over here, and this is the most favorite part of my tool, which is about the tools. The excess of the tools you get over here is mind-blowing. And here I'm talking about the MCP client tools are also available over here. If you click on this, you can actually connect multiple MCP client tool over here, and there's no limitation on that. And once you connect your MCP client tool, you can see this particular node has become so very much popular. These are multiple LLM models we have just connected. You can see these are the memories, these are the LLMs, these are the MCP client tool, and you can still connect multiple things over here. What is the difference between a MCP client tool and an MCP server? For example, if I want to connect in this particular node, I want to connect my Google Calendar. I'll have to select this, and I have to again go through all of these functions. You have to create an account, and then you have to connect all of these things, what kind of event you want to have, and whether you want to create, delete, or update an existing event. You have to go through this process again back and forth when you're designing this. Here, you design it once and you can use it in multiple workflows in the same way. All you have to do is just connect to MCP client tool, and it will help you do that. Type MCP into the chat box. I'll record a separate video on how we can access MCP tools, and so that you don't have to connect your accounts again back and forth. That's the beauty of this particular thing, and you can actually decide what kind of output you want. For example, if you come on to this output section, you can select what kind of output you want. A text splitter, an output parser, a memory. You can select that. You can see I can have anything over here. Maybe a chat model. It is giving you one particular node. You can consider this as the AI agent node, and you can also have a default code over here. If you click on this, execute, and this is the main game of the MCP client tool. This is the default code which is provided by n8n. Basically, if you go through the coding, you can use any LLM to define the code depending on the use cases you have. If you want me to record a separate video, how do you generate these codes from LLMs, type code into the comment section, and I'll record a separate video on how to amplify these codes and get your task done in the most efficient way by this AI agents. This is basically a code which gives you a definition to your AI agent, that what tools access this agent has and what the functions it can perform. All is summarized in this particular code, and this code can be generated easily by any LLM. You just explain your use cases. You just put a screenshot of the snapshot of this particular UI into the LLM box and just explain your use cases, and it will provide you it will generate a code which you can just dump it over here. And the possibilities are endless. You can see, like, in just a few seconds we have generated this, and the efficiency of this particular node as when compared to this particular node. I am excited to use this ahead in my further workflows, and let me know your reviews for this particular node in the comment section below, and let me know what are the possibilities you want me to introduce into this particular node, what other use cases you want to uncover in this particular node. Comment those into the comment section. And that's all from my end in this particular video, and I'll see you in the next one.